Morning, folks. Stone Abroad here. How's it going? It's not quite a wake and bake here because I've been up for a little while. One-handed bowl lighting skills. Gray morning here in Ontario. Had a really good couple of days, was feeling really good, but now weather changed over quick and my right shoulder hurts like hell, which means I can't work today. There will be no arting because I'm right-handed. And we're broke again, so there's not much I can do for entertainment. Not that you guys aren't entertaining. I do like hanging out with you guys. You know that. I wouldn't do this shit otherwise. But so this morning I'm just rocking small hits out of my pipe and have my shoulder covered in Tiger Balm, and the cats won't come near me because the stuff stinks to high heaven. And I'm supposed to work tonight, really, because it's here in Hamilton, Ontario, where I've been living for the past 10 years. The second Friday of every month, we have what's called Art Crawl. And if you look at Hamilton, hashtag Art Crawl. The hashtag locally for our city is Ham-aunt, one word. And yeah, so that night everybody, all of the artists in the community and a lot of musicians and dancers and whatnot started getting together and having a late night on the street where the galleries were, and now it's kind of exploded into this unofficial street fair where you get vendors and food trucks and it turns into a thing. So I should be going to that tonight. Not because I'm going to be selling my art in particular, not tonight, although I've been to them that way before. I should be going as a networking thing, is to check in with people. I haven't seen a lot of people. I have been locked up in the house for so long that, I feel like I'm losing touch with the community. Going out to the art crawl always re-energizes me creatively, but the problem is with these physical limitations, going to art crawl is a pain in the balls, because basically the whole point is you're walking this strip of about 6 blocks, I'd say, 6 good-sized city blocks, and popping in and out of the galleries and looking at the artists who are set up on the street, and it's a big see and be seen scene. But it's really, because it's just walking and in and out, and some of the buildings, a lot of the buildings there have private studios above, but they're 18th century buildings with those really narrow, steep staircases, which are problematic for me, to say the least. So it's just always this back and forth thing about, I should go to art crawl at the very least. If I don't want to try and drag everything down there and try and sell stuff, I should at the very least be there and network with people and see my friends. And yet, because I'm in pain all the time, I don't generally want to go, because I just don't want to be on my feet that long. Yes, I have the rollator walker, but it's not always a comfortable solution. Believe it or not, my arms do get tired from leaning so hard on it to keep my weight off my lower back. This is why I periodically have problems with my shoulders. And last year I had a round of tendinitis in both of my shoulders, one after the other, which was great. And this is starting to feel like that again. So I'm like, fuck, I need to rest my shoulder now. It never ends. Why am I complaining to you? You don't want to hear this. But anyway, so I don't know if I have anything I should do with that tonight, because I don't know if I want to do that stoned. I mean, this is part of the reality of being a modern medical user, right? Is that you have to consider that. I mean, if I go to this event tonight and I meet up with a gallery owner who might be a possible future business contact, what does it say to them that I'm slightly high the first time I meet him because I'm having a bad pain day? It's quite an impression to leave. I mean, in the art world, I don't think anybody really give a fuck. But it's something to think about. I mean, can you go to a first-time business meeting with a little bit of a buzz on? I don't know. I can't see how I react. So it's just, you know, it's back to high school with the, do I look high? Do I look high? You don't smell weed on me, do you? Oh, my hand's getting tired. See, I told you guys. This is a problem. But I wanted to talk to y'all, because I haven't said anything to y'all in a while. And, you know, I just think of you as my buddies. We hang out, we have a quick chat, we have a couple of laughs, we move on with our day. So, yeah, just having a bowl, thinking of y'all. Oh my god, I want to tell you though, I usually vape. I usually use the vaporizer unless I need a quick delivery, as I mentioned in the video where I was talking about why you should have a bong as a medical user, even if you're not a smoker. Similar thing, really. So last night I had bought some Girl Scout cookies, and it wasn't wowing me. I wasn't impressed. I was like, I don't know what the big fuss is about. And because I wasn't getting wrecked off it. It wasn't doing much for me. It was kind of a little background buzz. And then last night I felt like something different. You do. So I rolled it up as a J. My rolling skills are starting to get there finally. If my sister is watching this, Erica, you'd be proud of me. I'm starting to learn to actually fucking roll my own joints. But the thing is that, you know, I smoked that up. Oh man! Shit. Sorry about the shaky cam, guys. I need to get a tripod, but I'm broke. I need one of those bendy tripod things that I can wrap around stuff to stabilize the camera. Because if the minute this camera gets too low, you guys just get all chin. And nobody wants to deal with that. But like I was saying, is I lit up this joint last night. And oh man, now I understand. Okay. Because that was a freaking fun stone last night. I was wrecked. I went from 0 to wrecked in 5 seconds. I'm like, why am I not getting this stoned now? Using this weed in the vaporizer though. Now I know the vaporizer is different because you're not getting everything at once, right? It's like the difference between taking a shot and sipping a cocktail. So it takes a little bit longer to get you there, but it gets you there in the same place in the end, supposedly. But I haven't had that experience, not with this particular weed. So what I have to do is think about whether it's my technique or if it's just the way this particular lot is vaping off. Because it's clearly not the weed, because I was fucking wrecked last night. Anyway, so what are the rest of y'all doing today? What do you guys think? I mean, I know the point is to not be stoned. To get your medication without being stoned, but you know the problem is I'm having to deal with the fact that I can't always get the stuff that I'm not going to get wasted on to get me my delivery. I mean, Bodie McBoatface is a very fun name, and you know, as annoying as I find most of the LP renames of regular strains, which you know they at least put it on the package, you can see that it says it's CBD Metahaze. But the quality is good, and I never have a problem with that stuff. But as much as that annoys me, Bodie McBoatface is a great name. You must admit. But yeah, it's Not as strong as the last stuff I had from Tweed, so I'm smoking more of it, which doesn't really help me much. So I'm having to get a little more stoned than I want to be to get the medical effect I want. This is where we're back to the problem of not having enough choice, enough options, enough ways to acquire what it is your body needs without having to scramble. I mean, you guys would not put up with going to a drugstore and them not having any aspirin. Right? It's like, oh, well, we've got plenty of antibiotics. That's, you can have those instead. No, because it doesn't work the same. That's the thing. See, now that's a really good explanation for it, I think. Is, you go into the drugstore and you say, well, I have a headache, I need an aspirin. And they say, oh, well, all we have here is Pepto-Bismol. You wouldn't put up with that, right? So why should we? Somebody said to me, I was complaining about Tweed not having their stock in, which is admittedly really the one thing I dislike about Tweed. For all the people like, LPs here in Canada. I don't mind Tweed. They do a decent job. I don't know what everybody's all uptight about. But anyway, that's a story for another video. Shit, I lost my train of thought. You distracted me. See what happens? Always happens when you and I chat. I just go off on a train, and then there's just no ending it. So what I was talking about was Bodie McBoatface, and it's being a great name. Oh yeah, drugstore. And because there's some weed that's great for things like anxiety, social anxiety, depression. But those strains don't necessarily have the effect I need for pain killing. So, people are just like, oh, well, they got plenty of weed. Well, that's the thing, is this particular kind of weed has a particular kind of effect. It's not all just one thing. It's not interchangeable. And that's something people need to understand, is that this stuff with all the strains and everything, like somebody said to me, and this is someone who calls himself a weed advocate, mind you, that when I was first looking at signing up, I should not get signed up and not buy into the bullshit about buying all the different strains because weed is weed and everything is fine. Just buy the cheapest milled stuff you get from for $6, and although you can't get it for $6 a gram anymore, and you'll be fine. And the thing is, I'm not finding that. I'm finding that there are differences. I'm finding that the effects are different. And the science is starting to back me up with the research they're doing into terpenes and cannabinoids right now. So, yeah. It's not just, I need to get pot. It's, I need to get pot that has this, this, and this in it. Because that's what makes me feel better. Not all lettuces are the same as romaine. There's the same amount of variation in the plants. And that's going to affect their medicinal value. So, again, just be aware. Not just people, and this is the kind of thing that people who aren't in the marijuana community need to know. Because then they're just like, oh, well, what are you complaining about? They've got 22 kinds of weed there. It's like, they don't have the one you want. Oh, boo-hoo. Well, the one you want has the medicine I need. And that's what is a lot of people don't know. So when you're talking to people around you about, cannabis, go into some of that for me, okay? Just spread that word around, because people need to know that. And that'll help all of our advocacy efforts in the end, and all of our normalization efforts in the end. Because the more people understand how this plant works, because it doesn't work like most other chemicals, like most other drugs, because it's not a single chemical. And that's where we get into the entourage effect and all that stuff, and maybe we'll go into that later. If you want me to go into the entourage effect, leave me a comment. And I'll do a video on that. Today, like I said, I'm just rambling a little bit. So, Because I missed you guys. Yeah, I do. That's why I'm going to have you insert catchphrase. And I'll talk to you later. Peace out, guys.